How naive can we get? I'm sure night 2 will be just as good as night 1. Oh, God. We actually forgot what company we're dealing with here. Oh, God. We should have known better. We should have known better. Night 1 of WrestleMania 37 on this past Saturday was really, really good. How dare we think that the WWE is going to hit 2 home runs in one weekend? Don't we all feel like fools? Oh, God. Y'all know who I am. Blue Goblin. Whether you call me Blue Goblin here on YouTube or Ed Pool anywhere else, or if you know me personally, you just call me Ed or whatever. But as of right now, you can call me the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. Your World Champion. Woo! Got this from Amazon.com. That's right. And now I'm styling and profiling like a real world champion should. You don't have to like it, but buddy, you're gonna learn to love it. Woo! The real world's championship belt. Yeah. And this sumbitch is heavy. So I'm gonna put it down. Hold on, let me show you a good look at it. Look at that shit. All joking aside, look at that. This is from Fandu Belts. Damn, this is beautiful. I love it. Now, let's talk about night 2 of WrestleMania 37, shall we? Oh my God. This night felt almost the exact polar opposite of night 1. Whereas night 1 was a mostly solid show with only one bad match. This night, WrestleMania Sunday, was a complete pile of garbage with only one good match. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But my God, this night was horrible. Y'all can agree or disagree with me all you want. I don't care. I've reached the point now where I no longer care about hiding or holding back my opinion. This night was so god-awfully bad. So how do you begin this night? Randy Orton versus The Fiend. We have been letting this storyline, this angle, this rivalry play out for months and months and months and months. And you get to the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. And what happens? One RKO, Randy Orton beats The Fiend in about 6 or 7 minutes. After a distraction from Little Miss Bliss. I know this word gets tossed around a lot, and I know it gets overused, and I know it gets misused. But here, the word is legit. The Fiend was buried. You don't believe me? Tough shit. Here's the facts. We let this angle play out. We were patient to let it play out. Through months and months and months of buildup, you get to the biggest show of the year. You have The Fiend face one of the top stars in the promotion at the biggest show of the year, and he jobs in under 10 minutes. One RKO, that's it. He's done. At this point, not only is The Fiend buried, but now you kind of got to ask the question, what's the point of even having this character anymore? You couldn't have him go over one of your top stars at your biggest show of the year to really solidify him. Give him a signature moment. Nope. Which is a shame, because I was a fan of The Fiend. Now, not so much anymore. I still like the character, but at this point, this character's done for. This character's dead. There's no redeeming this character. Well, you could put a world title on him later in the year. By that point, it'll be too late. The damage has already been done, and this is the kind of damage that is unable to be repaired. Because it's one thing to bury a character, but to do it at the biggest show of the year, I don't see how this character can be saved. And at this point, who cares anymore? I'm sorry. It's just, it is what it is. And then we get to the next match, the women's tag team title match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defend against Natalya and Tamina. Somebody answer me this. Who thought it was a good idea to give Natalya and Tamina 2 matches on WrestleMania, but we couldn't find anything for Bayley? And I know I'm not the only person that's asking this, but I am one of the people that is asking this. Considering what Bayley went through this weekend, she deserved better than this. You pretty much sabotage Bayley just to get the Bella Twins over one more time. But this match, oh my God, this match was horrible. Botchy, sloppy, boring as shit. I don't know who was working the camera angles in this during this match, or who was responsible for getting the cameras on at certain points during this match. But my God, that moment where Natalya and Tamina are pretty much just standing there, looking like a couple of dumbasses, waiting for Nia Jax to jump off the top rope. That was painful to look at. Painful to look at. Decent finish, but it didn't save the match. This match was horrible. And you went through all that trouble for the tag team turmoil from the previous night, as bullshit as that match was. And you pretty much do all of that. You go through all of that just to have Jackson Baszler retain anyway. At the very least, if you were going to have Nia and Shayna retain, then you should have had the Riot Squad go over the previous night in the turmoil match. Yeah, it still would have been stupid, but it would have told a much better story. All that work they did, you could have still sold the fact that they were still a little sore from that match, and it could have played into the in-ring psychology, the in-ring storytelling of that match, and it would have worked in the champion's favor. Sometimes a story can simply just write itself, and the Riot Squad would have been having the Riot Squad as the challengers for this match would have made for much better storytelling. But what the fuck do I know? I've only been a fan of this shit for over 30 fucking years. Next up, I believe, was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, or as I like to call it, Kevin Steen versus El Generico, part 147. I have no problems with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wrestling. I really don't have anything hateful against it. It's just, and I'm glad that they both got a really good WrestleMania. They're both going to get a good WrestleMania payoff. But here's the problem. We've seen these guys wrestle so many goddamn times, there's really nothing special to it anymore. And you want to talk about polar opposites. They bring in Logan Paul for this match, for God knows why. And this is the exact opposite of what you got from Saturday. Saturday, you had Bad Bunny. He looked like a damn star. In fact, I want to see more of Bad Bunny. If this is the kind of performance we got from him Saturday, I'd like to see more of Bad Bunny. Even though I'm don't really know that much about him, other than he looked like a star. But here you bring in Logan Paul, where you can tell he's just going to sit there and give facial expressions and eventually eat a stunner, and that's pretty much it. This is the very definition of your stereotypical celebrity payoff for a wrestling show. They show up, they do what they're told, they collect the money, and they fucking leave. You could tell watching this match, I could certainly tell, that Logan Paul didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a damn. You could tell he was there for the money and nothing else. And I almost kind of chuckled. I was like, wait a minute, wasn't this guy recently caught under fire for allegedly filming a dead body on his YouTube channel? Did we just forget about that? Anyway, at least Logan Paul could take a stunner. But other than that, fuck this match and fuck Logan Paul. This was stupid. It was nice that they Owens and Zayn still have some good chemistry, but like I said, we've seen this so many times, it doesn't really feel special anymore. It really doesn't. I'm sorry. The United States Championship match. Bro, I like weed jokes, pot references. RVD, give me some paper. Bro this, bro that. Fuck this guy. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love this Matt Riddle guy, and people think he's going to be a star. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. All I see is a dollar store generic version of RVD, and not even a very good one at that. If you're going to rip off someone's shtick, at least do it well. I just don't see it. His match with Sheamus for the United States title, I had nothing. There was a pretty scary looking botch with the white noise spot off the top, and the only thing about this match that was any good was the finish. And that is the most important thing to get right, is the finish. I mean, you can have two guys in there dancing around and taking a shit in the middle of the ring. If the finish is good, then that's still something. Doesn't mean the match is great. If the finish is good, you can go, okay, the finish was good. And in this case, the finish was good. The moonsault countered into a bro kick. That was a sick-looking spot. And I'm glad that Sheamus got the win, but my God, this match just bored the brakes off of me. The Intercontinental Championship match. The Nigerian drum match. The drum fight, or whatever the fuck it is. Apollo Crews challenging Big E for the Intercontinental title. A title that I have a huge amount of respect for. That workhorse title. That stepping stone title, if you will. I got to agree with a lot of the other critics. It's like, why have a Nigerian drum fight if you're not going to use any of the drums during the fight? I would have loved to have seen Big E follow through with that gong spot that he wanted to do. I would have liked to have seen that. But the match had my attention. I thought, this could possibly be good. And then the finish happened. You basically have some tall dude. Apparently he's a dude that was on the Raw Underground shit. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know anything about Raw Underground. I don't watch this shit. So, a casual fan like myself, I've reached the status of casual viewing, even though I've watched professional wrestling for over 30 years. I see this guy run in, hit a Samoan spike and a choke slam, and I'm thinking, who the fuck is this? I don't think they ever mentioned his name. Apparently some other people, some of the fans know who he is. I don't know who he is. But it cheapened the match, and look, Apollo Crews winning, I don't have an argument with that. I think that was the right decision, but the finish felt cheap. It's like, as soon as the match was over, I thought to myself, man, I guess Vince McMahon is backstage going, well, AJ Styles has a tall motherfucker on Raw. God damn it, we need Apollo Crews with a tall motherfucker on SmackDown. We need a little guy with a tall guy on both shows, damn it. That's what I thought. It's like, okay, you got AJ and Almost on Raw, so we got Apollo Crews and this tall diesel-looking motherfucker on SmackDown. Because nothing's original in wrestling anymore. But, okay, Apparently they're gonna go with this. The finish just killed the match for me. I really thought this match would really go somewhere, and then the finish just made it fart. Yeah, it was just bad. The Raw Women's Championship match. My God. Rhea Ripley got a live entrance, a live music entrance, as did Big E earlier. I liked Rhea Ripley's look. I like her style. But here's the problem. You're having her in the ring with Asuka, because thank God it's not Charlotte Flair this time. The match, to me, was barely passable. It just felt dull, monotonous. It felt boring. And there was that DDT spot that made me go, whoa. And then we get away from that and we get back into the match, and it's just like, DDT, it's just, And then the finish just seemed to come out of nowhere. It's like they're going through a trading sequence, and I'm thinking, okay, this is probably the part of the match where they're going to start picking things up, amping things up a little bit to try and get some pops out of the crowd. That's where I thought they were going. And then, boom, 1, 2, 3, Rhea Ripley wins. I'm like, what? That's it? That's your finish? And I've seen Rhea Ripley's finisher, the Riptide. That was probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. And that was your finish. Oh my God, this match sucked. I'm just wondering if both of these ladies knew they were not going to be able to top Sasha and Bianca from the night prior. My feeling was that they knew they weren't going to top that SmackDown Women's title match, so they just wrestled a basic match and just didn't give a shit. That's what this felt like. With the exception of the DDT spot, this felt like a Monday Night Raw match. It just happened to take place inside of a WrestleMania ring, and that's really sad. Even if you know you're not going to be able to top Sasha and Bianca, you should still put forth an effort and try and work your ass off and try to get some fire out of that crowd. And instead, it just felt like a basic, safely played match. And I do like the fact that Rhea Ripley won. But here's another problem. It's well over a year too fucking late. Because last year you had Rhea Ripley bitched out to Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair's reign as NXT Women's Champion at that time literally went nowhere. So there was really no point of taking the women's title off of Rhea back then. And here you get to now, and it just feels too little too late. My God, this night was so bad it was practically depressing. And then we get to the main event. The main event, the triple threat match for the Universal title. With this triple threat match for the Universal title, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge, by this point, I had pretty much emotionally given up on this show. This show was so god-awfully bad, I had reached a point where I felt like I was about ready to give up. And then we got to this match. Even before this match officially started, I still had that thought in my head saying, even if this match pulls it off and works, it's not going to save this night. And it didn't. It honestly didn't. But here's the facts. This match was fantastic. If you were to take this main event and shoehorn it into WrestleMania Saturday, take that tag team turmoil match and throw it out and throw it in the fucking garbage, and take this Universal title match and put it on Saturday, you could have just called that WrestleMania 37, one night, one show, and it probably would have been recognized as one of the greatest WrestleManias of probably the past decade. But because Saturday was so good and Sunday was so bad, This feels like another yeah, but WrestleMania, just like WrestleMania 30 was. Like, Daniel Bryan won the world title at WrestleMania 30. Yeah, but The Undertaker lost his streak. You see what I'm saying? This also feels like one of those yeah, but WrestleManias. It's like, yeah, the triple threat match for the Universal title was great. Yeah, but the rest of this night was fucking garbage. Yeah, WrestleMania Saturday was great. Yeah, but it had a tag team turmoil match that stunk up the joint. Yeah, WrestleMania 37, a really good show. Yeah, but could have been better. I know it seems like my expectations are really high, but this isn't Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown or Main Event or NXT or any of the other D-level pay-per-views that the WWE holds on. This is WrestleMania. WrestleMania. When you talk about WrestleMania, you want to talk about the best of the biggest show of the year. You pull out all the stops. You give us everything you have. You grab us fans by the throat and choke us and make us want to watch. WrestleMania. Night 1 was great. Night 2 was bleh, was fucking garbage. And as good as this main event was, it still didn't save this night. My God. And I stand by it. Even now, Daniel Bryan had no business being in this match. Considering what the finish was, it begs the question, what was the point of Daniel Bryan even being in the match if you were going to have Edge eat a pinfall anyway? You could have had Daniel Bryan versus, I don't know, Jey Uso either at this night or on Saturday, but add a stipulation that if Daniel Bryan wins, he gets a title shot after WrestleMania. A guaranteed title match after WrestleMania. Possibly at the next pay-per-view at Backlash. But if he loses, he has to permanently retire. There's a WrestleMania story for Daniel Bryan. I just thought of it on the fly in about 20 seconds. And that was better than what they did with him here. And if you don't agree with me, too goddamn bad. Considering that Edge ate a pinfall anyway, I still don't believe there was any business for Daniel Bryan to be involved in this match. Other than to have a bunch of fans going, yes, 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 throughout the match, even though you knew some of them just do it based on a reflex. Oh, there's Daniel Bryan. Yes, 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 yes. Like, oh, there's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hell yeah, what? Oh, there's Kurt Angle. You suck. You know, some people react not based on emotional response. Some people react because it just feels like something they have to do. And with Daniel Bryan, the yes, 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 yes stuff, it's starting to feel like, oh, wait, there's Daniel Bryan. Hold on. Yes, 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 yes. There he goes. Okay, I'm done. That's what it's starting to feel like. But even though I believe that Daniel Bryan still should not have been in this match, and I stand by that, I don't give a damn what anybody says. The match was still really good. Even the stuff from Bryan was done very well. The stuff from Edge was really good. The facial expressions from Edge was really good in ring psychology. It was superb. It was really, really damn good. And Roman Reigns looked like a damn star, the tribal chief. Now, I will say this. Going into this match, I wanted Roman Reigns to retain. For two reasons. One, because you need a powerful heel champion. In a world where we get so many cookie-cutter chicken shit heel champions, Roman Reigns is a breath of fresh air as a powerful, dominant heel world champion. We just got Bobby Lashley, but we've had Roman Reigns. And I don't want Roman Reigns to lose that power just yet. And a signature victory at WrestleMania of all places is a good way for him to generate even more heat and even more power as a monster-dominant heel. That's how you generate ticket sales. That's how you grow your audience. That's how you increase your ratings. Is that when the villains become more and more powerful and more dominant, you get that urge in your body to want to see and pay money to see the hero overcome the obstacles and kick the villain's ass. When the villain gets his ass kicked consistently and easily, there's no emotional investment. With Roman Reigns as a monster-dominated heel, you get that emotional investment. Which is why I think him retaining worked. I would have been fine with Roman or Edge winning. I did not want Daniel Bryan to win. My thoughts were anybody but Daniel Bryan. Because Daniel Bryan, I still believe, should have been saved for some post-WrestleMania storytelling. But since, the match was still good. That double crossface spot with the bar in Roman's mouth and Edge and Daniel Bryan headbutting each other, that was an awesome spot. And I was scared that they were going to have Roman submit, and then what? Two Universal Champions, or is Roman going to be thrown out of the match and it's going to be bet down between Daniel Bryan and Edge? They could have went that route. This company is so goddamn stupid with their booking, it wouldn't have shocked me at all. But to have Roman retain in the way that he did, that concerto from Edge to Daniel Bryan, that was fucking sick. And then Roman with the ultimate insult. He concertos Edge and then proceeds to pin both of them. And I'm thinking, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And anybody that griped about Jey Uso interfering, it's no disqualifications. What the fuck do you expect? They're heels. They're villains. They're supposed to be dastardly. They're supposed to cheat. That's part of their character development. That worked. Whereas in the IC title match, it kind of felt like a fart in church. But here in the main event, it generates more heat on the monstrous heel. Whereas Apollo Crews is destined to look like another one of your stereotypical WWE chicken shit heels. With Roman, it's different because he's a monster and he's dominant. Apollo might turn out to be a chicken shit. But then when I saw the finish and I saw the pinfall, it made me think, what was the point of Daniel Bryan being here? Because a lot of people suspected that Bryan was brought in to eat the pinfall because they didn't want either Roman or Edge to eat the fall. But Edge ate the fall. So why bother having Daniel Bryan? To me, there was much more story there with Roman and Edge, because with Roman and Edge one-on-one, you had the chance to tell a story in this match that would make the fans believe that no matter who wins, it's gonna feel awesome. If Edge were to go over Roman, it would have been incredible. A great comeback story. A decade in the making of retaining a world championship status that he never truly got beaten for. But if Roman Reigns were to go over, it would symbolize a star from the past helping to put over and establish a star of the present and the future. The story was there. The development was there. And it would have been much more solid if it was just one-on-one Roman versus Edge. But since you did the triple threat, and since you did the finish that you did, Roman pretty much beat them both at the same time, and now you're at the point where you're thinking, now what? Daniel Bryan no longer has a claim to be in the world title picture anymore because he's been beaten, 3-4 times? Edge lost. What's he got to do to earn another shot? Does he just ask for one? Bullshit. At this point, both of these guys need to earn another opportunity. Shouldn't just be given one. There's no story to that. The story is all about the chase. And if you don't care enough to do a storyline featuring the chase, then what's the point? Now what do you do? What do you do with Roman Reigns now? You throw Cesaro at him? Cesaro got a big win over Seth Rollins. You're going to throw Cesaro at him at Backlash? We know that Roman's not going to drop the title to him. But at least it would be something different. Somebody besides Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan all the goddamn time. You can have something for Edge. You can have Edge and Daniel Bryan in a feud. Or you can put Edge in a feud with Jey Uso and build something from that. Eventually building Edge back up if you want to go back down the Edge road. But at this stage in the game, at this point in the game, what do you do now? Now what? That's the biggest question. What do you do now? Where do you go? Where should you go? This main event was solid. It was excellent. Very well done. One of the better triple threat WrestleMania main events that I've seen in a while. Despite my feelings about Daniel Bryan being in the match, I will give credit where credit is due. The match was still phenomenal. But it still didn't save this night. This night was garbage, and you goddamn well know it was. Take it from me. I've been watching this for a long time. I think I know what I'm talking about. Whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, it's whatever. You can agree with me, great. If you can disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our opinions at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, my opinion, it feels more factual than opinion, but it is still an opinion that this night was a pile of fucking garbage. And quite frankly, in my opinion, the WWE deserves every ounce of criticism that they get for night 2 of this night. You buried the Fiend, you make your women's division look like fucking idiots, you completely humiliate and undercut Bayley for the Bella Twins. You have Apollo Crews shaping up to be your stereotypical cookie-cutter chicken shit WWE heel. You give us a boring United States champion only to have him lose to Sheamus. A Raw Women's Championship that blink, you miss it, and you don't fucking care. And a triple threat match that throws sprinkles on top of a turd. I think it's safe to say that night 1 kicked night 2's ass. Don't you think so? Yeah, I know this review went way too long and I don't fucking care. Night 1 was great. If you'd have just capped it off with night 1 and just shoehorned this main event into night 1, you could have called that a night and it would have been a solid show. But night 2 tarnishes WrestleMania 37 overall. You could have had a chance to give us an A show, and instead WrestleMania 37 will just be remembered as a maybe a C+, maybe a B- at best. When this is WrestleMania, it should be your best of the best. It's just the way it is. I got nothing else to say. I'm out.